week one of the fantasy football season. Here's a few tight ends. I have a sleeper option this week. The first tight end, Mike Gesicki of the Cincinnati Bengals. Gesicki had a couple pop games last season in Cincinnati. Re-signed this offseason. Last year, 65 catches, 665 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, and a fumble loss. Early in his career, a lot of praise for Gesicki. They thought he would be the next big thing about analysts and people around the league when he was with the Miami Dolphins. Then he bounced around a little bit, was Gesicki. He was on the New England Patriots. Then last year he landed with the Cincinnati Bengals. And like I said, he signed that contract. And this week, this is a pretty decent matchup at the Cleveland Browns for Gesicki in Cincinnati. We know he's the fourth option in this offense. You got Ja'Marr Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown out of the backfield. Then Gesicki steps in. He's out there 93% of fantasy leagues. So if you need a tight end or you punted the position as a streaming option and sleeper this week, I like Gesicki. Next tight end, Darren Waller of the Miami Dolphins. Waller, he retired for a season. He came back. Dolphins traded for him after they traded Jonnu Smith away to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Waller's still only 32 years old. I think he might have something left in the tank. And he's in a dynamic offense where we know Mike McDaniel, he gets his players in good position. So Waller, like I said, last season he took off. We'll see if he has anything left. But he's going to be the fourth, fifth option anyway in this offense. Behind Achane, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, even Westbrook-Ikhine, I think we could see get in there at times. But Waller, big body tight end, good red zone target at 6'5". And we'll see what his snaps are going to be because he did miss a majority of training camp, as well was Waller with conditioning. But now available in 88% of fantasy leagues, and he was the top tight end fantasy football 3-4 years ago. Waller, someone to keep an eye on this week. And the final tight ends, Dalton Schultz of the Houston Texans. Dalton Schultz, it's been a solid career for him, starting with the Cowboys, last couple seasons with the Texans. He's another guy where obviously he's down in the pecking order. But now, obviously, with Diggs gone in free agency, Tank Dell out for the season, they did bring in Christian Kirk and Jaden Higgins. I think Schultz, he could be an underrated player this season at the tight end position. Available 95% of leagues. So last season, 53 catches, 532 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. And this week, it could be a high-scoring game at the Los Angeles Rams. Fast track indoors. And like I said, there's not many options. I know Christian Kirk they traded for. We'll see what he's got left, where he's dealing with a lot of injuries the last couple of years. And Jaden Higgins, young rookie they took early in the NFL draft. We'll see what he's got going. Is Jaden Higgins, if he's going to get a lot of snaps in this ball game and route participation. So Dalton Schultz arguably could be the number 2 target early in the season for this Houston Texan team. And like I said, he's out there in 95% of fantasy leagues. That's a few tight ends I have as sleepers for week one of the fantasy football season.